Hello everyone and welcome back to Bargain Beauty and Banter with Brittany. So as promised, I said I would start coming to you guys with some beauty reviews. So I had been couponing makeup for quite some time, and I have mainly the thing that I wanted to get was I got on a deal with my coupons last week. I got this Maybelline BB Fresh Stay Hydration Beauty Balm 8-in-1 Skin Perfector Titanium Dioxide Sunscreen, SPF of 30. I also got this Super Stay Ink Crayon Lipstick that we're going to try. And then the other thing that I got was the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. So I'm super excited to try these three things, but I've also been couponing some other Maybelline things, so I've got a few more things to try out that are all Maybelline that I figured we'd just try to do. Not a full face of Maybelline because I don't have everything Maybelline, but we can almost get a full face of it. So here's how I'm going to start doing like foundation reviews on this channel. I'm going to do hands on the forehead with no primer. One side of my face I will do with a pore filling primer, maybe a brush. Other side will be kind of like a gripping primer and a sponge. And then we're going to wear it all day and see how it goes. First day, I'm probably not going to do any powder except for the areas that I need it to put on, like bronzer, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much how I'm going to do it. So I've already moisturized, done all the things there. So I'm going to just grab my makeup bag and get started as far as primer. So like I said, for my forehead, I'm not going to put anything there. For primer, I do have this e.l.f. gripping primer. It's actually kind of old, but it's their Jelly Pop primer, their watermelon scent that they had for a little bit. And then for pore filling, I just like e.l.f. primers, okay? So for pore filling primer, we're going to use the e.l.f. Putty Primer. The e.l.f. Poreless, I really need to clean my makeup. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is what I'm going to do. I had a product that actually broke. It was my L'Oreal powder foundation. It broke, and so I had to repress it. I actually filmed that so that way I could show you guys how to repress your powders if they ever fall and break. So if you ever have a powder foundation that falls and break, don't throw it away. Do not throw it away. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to open this because little pro tip beauty trick from me to you. I stuff my mascara in my brassiere as I am doing my makeup so it warms it up. People say to do your eyelash curler too. I'm always afraid it's going to pinch me, so that I kind of just sit on. So I'm going to sit on my eyelash curler and I'm going to put this right in here. So I've got that warming up. Oh, for my primer, like I said, I'm going to do my Poreless Putty Primer on this side of my face right here. And we're going to see like what primer this works best with. So I will definitely come back at the end of the day and let you all know my thoughts. And then just going in with the e.l.f. Jelly Pop primer on this side of my face right here. I'm going to kind of just dab that in. This stuff, as you can see, like it really grips onto your makeup. I love this stuff. This is not one that you really want to like smooth in. This is one that you just kind of want to pat it in. That's kind of how I do it. And then we're not going to use anything on the forehead. And I actually have pretty dry skin up here, so that's why I don't want to do anything on the forehead, because I get really dry right in here. And so I want to see how it's going to set there and how it does on dry patches. So that is why I don't want to do anything on the forehead, because that is where I'm at my driest. So I'm going to clean those primers off so it does not affect the BB cream in any way. Now, most of the time, I mean, I prefer BB creams. That is what I prefer to use on my face. So when I do BB creams, I generally like to put those on with my hands and just use the warmth of my hands for it. I don't know how much to use, so I'm just using just a little bit for now. It's very liquidy, obviously, like a BB cream would be. But for now, I'm just going to put a little bit on there. I'm probably going to need a little more. We'll see. Always don't forget, like, right here in between your eyebrows. Like, a lot of people forget that area. So, yeah, I want to kind of build that up and see, because it looks like it did absolutely nothing to my forehead. So I'm going to put just a little more on, since I didn't get that much at first. I just, you know, sometimes you don't know how much product you need. And then just pat it in, making sure to get everywhere. So if you see my little earbud in, I actually, it keeps falling out. I had ordered a microphone. It was like a 2-pack on TikTok. And I had ordered them for Samsung because I'm not with the times. I prefer my Samsungs, not an iPhone. I'll be the first one to say it. They sent me microphones for the iPhone and not for the Samsung. So this is my microphone right now, and it keeps slipping out. So if you see me messing with it, I apologize. If it makes any noise from me messing with it, I apologize. But okay, so there's what it looks like on the forehead. It doesn't look too bad. It looks really good, actually. So I'm going to do this side of my face with a brush, and we're going to see how that works next. Brush generally offers a little more coverage. Brush is really not a way that I really go to put on makeup, because I feel like sometimes it can just look streaky, but we're going to try it. All for the name of science, we're going to try it. I'm getting out of my comfort zone by doing this, because I am not one to use a brush at all. I mean, it's smoothing in pretty good with a brush. It looks good. I definitely feel like I can, again, use more. But it's not awful. I think I'm going to resist the urge to put more on. But this is just, I mean, it's literally like your normal BB cream. Very little coverage, but gives, it evens out a little more. So like here's with, and then here's the side without. So just a little bit, like it definitely smooths everything in my opinion. Now we're going to do it with a sponge. So with the sponge, I kind of just get the product on my face like this, where I want it. And then I go in with my sponge and blend it all in. So obviously, off the bat, obviously, way more coverage with a brush. What I would say is I like the way it looks with a brush more. I feel like you get just a slight bit more coverage. It's not bad with the sponge either. The sponge definitely helps. If you have problems or you don't like the way that the brush, I mean, I feel like I got it without it being streaky. So what you could always do is you could do brush first, and then if you feel like there's any streaks that need to be fixed, then just go in with your sponge after, and then you can blend any of those problem areas in. So the next thing that I'm going to do, it's actually not a it's not a new product. I've had it forever. In fact, like I'm almost out of it. See this? Like right here down. That's all I got left of the Maybelline Age Rewind. I figured since it was Maybelline, I'd go ahead and put it in here. This is a fantastic, it's a fantastic concealer. So I just kind of dot like a little bit here. I don't have a whole lot of redness, thank goodness. I am very pleased for that. But I just do like a little bit here. I do a little bit on the outside, and then I'm using this as my concealer here. And then I have this little red dot here under the skin, and I put it there and then just kind of let it set. I do have lupus. That's what this little red dot is from. It was actually from a lupus flare-up that I had 2 years ago. And I get the butterfly rash that's kind of like all over the midsection of my face here. When I had that flare-up 2 years ago, this little dot appeared and never went away. Everyone constantly thinks that I have acne in the middle of my eyebrows, and that spot's been there for like 2 years. And it's under the skin. It is not on top of the skin. But what I was getting at with that is sometimes because of the rash, I do have quite a bit of redness like on the edges of my nose. So I just do 2 little dots there to help lighten that up too. So that is how I do my concealer. And then I let the rest of the concealer sit there for a minute. And while that is sitting there, I will work this in on my eyes as my primer. Here, I actually just lightly swirl. Like not even, like I'm barely touching my skin, but I just lightly swirl there. Same thing here. I just very lightly kind of tap it and then swirl. And then for here, I kind of tap it kind of out a little bit, and I just kind of do that, just tapping and swirling to kind of blend it in. This out. By the way, look at this thing. Is this not adorable? I found it at TJ Maxx today when I went to go pick up my first order from the Ulta Beauty event. And we decided to go to TJ Maxx next door, and I found this little mirror and I was like, this is adorable, I want it. So I got it. It was only $5.99 and I love it. And we all know I'm so ready for fall. Isn't that just pretty? The way that that looks. And then for this here, again, very lightly, just kind of tapping it in, and then I just kind of go like that, and then look, my little spot is gone. This stuff is amazing. Like if you don't have this, super cheap. Never buy anything from the drugstore full price. Like, wait for coupons. The mascara was on this whole like 2-week beauty event sale that they had, and it was on sale for $9.99, regularly like $15.99. And it was on sale for $9.99, buy one, get a $5 extra care buck. And then we had a $3 off coupon for the mascara. And then these here were on like all the other Maybelline products besides that mascara was on like their own little promotion of buy 2 get $8 in extra care bucks. And we had a 3 off 15 CRT, and I had a $3 off coupon as well. So between all three of them, they went over that $15 mark. And maybe actually it was spend $20 on Maybelline items, get $8 extra care buck, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. So if you guys see this video after Saturday's over, you can still get deals on these items, because next week, it might even be a better week. Next week, they're going to be doing at CVS, buy 2, get a $6 extra care buck. And we're supposed to be getting, you know, I never like to pre-share deals. We never know what coupons we're going to get, but we're supposed to be getting like a $5 off digital coupon. So you could also score any of these deals next week. So anytime you ever are seeing makeup, I'm going to share how I got it for a deal, so that way you can do it, because, you know, we gotta add some money saving tips in here. So I'm going to powder off camera because I actually don't have any Maybelline powder at the moment. If you want a Maybelline powder recommendation, the Maybelline Fit Me loose setting powder is wonderful. I don't like their pressed powder, but their loose setting powder is really good. But since I don't have a Maybelline powder, I'm going to go ahead and powder off camera. Actually, no, I'm not, because I want you guys to know that I did not set the face. So no, we're going to just do it. I'm going to use this. This is another one that I have nothing. It's an e.l.f. Look look, there's nothing on there. It's their e.l.f. Loose Setting Powder. I love that stuff, but I'm just going to powder my under eye. So I'm just going to do just a little powder there to set the concealer. And then if you ever wonder what I'm doing here, before you ever set your concealer with powder, make sure you go in. The warmth of your fingers will help get anything out of fine lines, so that way you're not setting concealer that maybe had creased while you were sitting there chatting. So like obviously I was sitting here chatting. I'm not going to set anything that might have set into any lines while I was sitting here chatting. So I'm just going to do a little bit on the areas that I plan to put my bronzer and things like that. And the rest of the face, I'm going to keep. I do put a little on my nose and right here. The rest of the face, we're going to leave alone. I am going to go ahead and bronze my face off camera because I don't have a Maybelline bronzer. And then I'll be right back. So I'm back because I totally lied. My bronzer is the Maybelline City Bronzer. This stuff is awesome, guys, if you did not know. Yes, it's broke. And I've almost hit pan. Like, if you can't tell, I love Maybelline products. I just love them. This is the bronzer that I use every daggone day. I even use it, like, when I want just a small everyday look, just like a small everyday eye look and just like a natural makeup day, I will use this as my eyeshadow. And in fact, I'm probably going to work it in as eyeshadow today just because of what I plan on using for eyeshadow. But this is just like, if you are close to my skin tone, this is the color 100. This is just like the most beautiful, like, everyday bronzer. It's not too stark. It's just, I love it. It's perfect for my skin tone. So as you can see, it's not like muddy looking or anything like that. I can keep building it up if I want it to look more, if I want it to have more definition. I can just keep adding and adding to it. And it never looks muddy or bad. I love this stuff. And when I run out, because clearly I am almost done with it, I can't even keep the packaging together. When I run out of it, I will absolutely repurchase that because I love that stuff. I will take like a denser brush like this. This is what I usually use for cream contour and cream bronzer to help blend in, and I will actually just take some of this and just pat it right here if I want to do more of a contour. Just right there, just to kind of darken things up. I will just do it right there, and it gives like a little more dimension to the face. So, and I'll even kind of slightly put it along the sides of my nose just to have more shadow. You can even use it just to help kind of chisel out a little bit. I mean, I've got a pretty defined jawline, so I don't really go through and do all that, but you can definitely use this. That is my little trick. If you want to look like you have contoured and bronzer on, take a more dense brush and just take the product and go at least from eyebrows up. And you see how it's just slightly darker here, but then it looks more diffused like a bronzer out here. That is how I get that look. And I used one product. Man, this is turning into a full face, and I didn't think it was going to be. Highlighter, I don't have a highlighter that is, I don't. But I'm going to use my favorite one. This is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This is the most, it gives the most beautiful glow. You can go light-handed with it. You can go heavy-handed with it. I love this highlighter. It just, you can really build it up. or you can make it as natural as you want. And it just hits the light beautifully. I mean, look at that. I will kind of fan it down a little bit. I put some up here where the sun naturally hits. Put a little bit right here. I do just a little bit there. And then I love to take it and put it right there on the brow bone. And it just looks so pretty. I mean, you see that? Like, I don't know if you can tell. My lighting is not the best in here, but I will show it to you in natural lighting because we're going to do I'm going to show you how everything looks in natural lighting after I'm finished with this. So I have 2 of the Maybelline Fit Me blushes. I've actually never tried the Maybelline Fit Me blush, and everybody raves about them, so I don't know. What colors are these? This one says 30 and this one says 15, but it does not say what color 30 or 15 is. Like, so this is the one, the more mauve shade, which is shade number 15 right here. You probably cannot even see that very well. Trying to. And then this brighter pink here is shade 30. So I'm going to go with shade 30. I'm going to be adventurous. We're going to try it. I'm scared. I think I'm going to start small and then go from there. Another trick that I like to do, guys, is I like to put my highlighter on first, because then if you're like me where you want like a more lit from within glow, which that Essence Pure Nude highlighter will do, if you put your blush on over your highlight, it will blend in with the highlight. It like just, blush will take the highlights and the bronzer, and that's kind of like your last little step where it just kind of, it makes it all come together, like the whole look. I actually like this color. I like that a lot. I've got these Maybelline One Pan eyeshadows. This one is in the shade Nude Glow, and this one is in the shade The Glow Damp. So these are what the shades look like. One's more of like a gold color, one's more of like a purpley color. I have used these before and I love them. They're like perfect one shadow looks. You put them on the lid, blend them into the crease. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'll put like a little bronzer in the crease to help blend them in, and that's it. That's it. But these are absolutely gorgeous. I think today I'm going to go in at the Glow Down, the more gold shade. So I just take it, get a little bit on my finger right here, and just put it right here. Sorry, the sun is like glaring here, and just put it all over my lid and up into the crease. I have slightly hooded eyes, so I definitely go up higher than where my little line here ends. I kind of fake it. Get a little more and do this side. Just sloppily put it in there. Little crease brush here. Make sure it's all cleaned off. It should have been, but then I just take windshield wiper motions and just blend it on in. But isn't that pretty? And it looks like you tried a lot harder than you did. Obviously, you know, it looks weird right now, but I definitely think that I'm gonna, let me get a little bit of bronzer. So I'm getting the bronzer again. Just gonna tap that in there. And then just kind of work that in to the crease. And then sometimes, like I said, if you've blended too much away, you can always just go back in with just a little more, just to reintroduce that shimmer color back onto the lid. So I'm going to take a little more bronzer with a smaller brush here, and I'm going to just I'm going to add this just at the bottom, right here. So for eyeliners, I got the Maybelline Lasting Drama. It's a retractable pencil. Oh, that's really creamy. Like, look at this. That is super creamy. And it's matte. Oh, yeah. That's a good one right there. The other thing that I got, and I'm not going to lie, we're not going to do this today because I want to practice with this off camera. I am a big firm believer of bedtime makeup right before you wash it off to practice. I am horrible at liquid liner. Like, I used to wear the cat eye eyeliner all the time in high school. That was my thing. I could never do it with liquid liner. I actually gave the cat eye effect with a pencil. But I could never, ever make it happen with a liquid liner. I have low blood sugar and I shake too much. And so it would look like a child, like just kind of drew fuzzies. So I got this for my own practice. And if I get good at it, I'll update you. I'll let you know how it looks. But I'm not going to do this on camera because I know it's going to look crazy. I already know. I'm not going to lie. But this here, I am going to go ahead and tight line. I'm interested to see if it's going to go on the bottom half. If it's going to transfer down, it usually does it like with first blink. And I'm not seeing that happen. Not that I can tell. So, maybe. Let me see in a better mirror here. Okay, maybe a little transfer. Maybe a little. But it's not too bad. Doesn't look bad. I don't think I'm going to do the top lash line today. I was thinking about it, but I think just with this eye look as it is, I think that it looks really good just tight lined. I mean, obviously all the makeup, I'm going to fill you guys in on my final thoughts later on down the road. I'll do like a wear test on the foundation for today because that's what I'm really wanting to do as far as the wear test. But all of these items I'm going to continue to put to the test, and then here in about a month or two when I've gathered my final thoughts, then we will be doing a speed review video on what I think on all of the products that I've tried. So any video that I ever come to you with the products, I will make sure that we do some sort of follow-up speed review. So I am excited for this mascara. I actually have the mascara primer, but I'm not really sure how I feel about that yet. So I might do one eye with the primer, and then I might do one eye without the primer. So I'm actually going to take the primer that I've been using already, and I'm going to stick it in my brassiere as well. All right, so I'm back. I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera. I don't have anything new that I'm using. I'm just using the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I plan on doing like a full face of e.l.f. coming up here real soon. So one thing that I do is I curl my lashes, and then I do like my brows, and then I go back in and recurl my lashes. So I'm going to do that again. And so the eyelashes on this eye look really good just on their own. This side, they need a little help. For some reason, like, they're super long on this side. So I'm going to do the brow or the lash primer on the side that needs help just to see how it looks. Now, the one thing that I will say with this lash primer is that it actually is tinted, so it looks like you're already wearing mascara as it is. So that is pretty cool. So you could probably, if you want more like just a fluttery look to your lashes, you could honestly get away with just the primer on its own. I'm still collecting my thoughts on this because I've only used it a couple of times. The first time I used this, I used it with the L'Oreal Panorama mascara, and I really liked the look that I got, but every time that I've used it with the mascara since then, I've not really liked it. So that is just the primer on that eye. So here is the Maybelline Sky High mascara. I have been wanting to try this for a while now. Bristle brush, almost like the primer there. It's very flimsy. So if you don't like this type of brush, you might not like this product. I do, so I'm going to put it in on the eye that I don't have any product on first. Well, that primer. Okay, so it's a wet formula because I've already got it on me. Yes, I know. I'm kind of ambidextrous. I cannot do my eyelashes like I can't go across my face and do my lashes with my dominant hand. I cannot do that. I don't know how people do that. I have never been able to do that. I've always put on my mascara with my left hand for my left eye. I think this might be one that it might need, like, after a couple of uses, when it's at its prime and more air has gotten in the bottle, it could be a really good mascara. It's a very wet formula, so if you don't like that and you like mascaras that are a little more primed and drier and ready to go, I don't think you're gonna like this. I'm kind of thinking it reminds me of the Benefit Bad Gal Bang, but I haven't used that mascara in so long. I would have to repurchase that to actually see if I think it's similar. But yeah, it's kind of reminding me of the, like, just the way that the wand is set up. I might have to retry that mascara, because I loved that mascara, and that's why I think I like this, because that was one of my favorites, and I remember it being super wet formula when you first open it. This is the side with the primer, and this is the side without. I really think there is a big difference. I'm intrigued on what a second coat is going to look like with the side with the primer. We're going to see. I'm going to do a second coat on the other side, and then actually, I'm going to do a second coat on both, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts on everything. Okay, so I am back now, and I'm going to just kind of get you closer. And as you can see, here is the side with the primer. It's still kind of wet, so I think it definitely looks good. Here is the side without the primer. I don't know. I kind of like the way the one with the primer is looking, and that's actually not my good lashes, but I feel like it's looking pretty good. So we'll look at it more in natural lighting, and I'll show you what that looks like. So the last thing that I got is this Maybelline Super Stay Ink Crayon, and so this is what it looks like. It looks like a lip liner, but it's more like plump, so that way you could use it as like a lipstick too. And this is like, that is so my color right there. So yeah, I am liking that. I like that you can line the lips, or you can use it both ways. So I definitely like that that is an option that you can do. So yeah, you could either line the lip, or you can go in and fill them in and wear it as a lipstick, which is what I'm going to do. And that is definitely a color that I like to wear. This is perfect for the fall. I mean, look at that. That is going to look so pretty on so many different skin tones. All right, so some time has passed now, and I'm currently in more natural lighting. So I wanted to kind of show you the makeup and what it's looking like. It's been probably a couple of hours now since I have put this on. Foundation, here's what I'm noticing. On this side, where the pore gripping or the pore filling primer is, it looks so much better right here on the smile line. On this side, you can see where it's already starting to go in there. Forehead doesn't look bad. I'm not loving the way it looks on my top, on my upper lip area either. It just looks really heavy there. So I'm going to keep wearing it, see how it continues to wear. It's like 95 degrees here, so I've definitely been outside the entire time. And so, yeah, I'm going to just keep wearing it, and we'll see how it looks at the end of the day.